What's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And welcome to a new week. The Bitcoin price is up. The whole cryptocurrency market is up. So we'll take a look here at the Bitcoin price chart, the total altcoin market cap, and we'll peek at some other different altcoins as well. Obviously, days like this are exciting. Bitcoin's back up, fighting near that all-time high again, trying to push for even higher prices. The Ethereum price chart has pushed up into another brand new all-time high. So has the total altcoin market cap, the total market cap, and the market cap of the entire cryptocurrency market, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So obviously number one and number two, if we remove that from the market cap of the whole market and we look at all the other altcoins, we could see that the rest of the market, the rest of this cryptocurrency market is above $1 trillion. So as we all know, there's a big narrative that gets tried to be pushed out there that this is just a Bitcoin market and then, maybe Ethereum, but $1 trillion in the rest of the altcoin market goes to show you that this is definitely a cryptocurrency market, is not just a Bitcoin market. But as we start out this new week and with exciting price action to start out the week, I'll show you the things that I'm looking at as we kind of go through the charts. You guys know where I stand. I think the price of Bitcoin and the price of Ethereum are getting relatively high. We'll kind of peek at the measurements of those really quick. Now today is a special day for my YouTube channel. Really, it was actually yesterday, is that it was the 2-year anniversary of when I started creating YouTube videos here. And, back then, back in those days, we were in a bear market here with Bitcoin. We were in a bear market with the altcoin market. And people, pretty much every day of my life coming on here on this YouTube channel was, we're never going to go into a bull run. It's never going to happen. $70,000 Bitcoin will never happen. Why would anybody ever pay $70,000 for a Bitcoin? Back in the day at those times when my YouTube channel started, the price of Bitcoin was $8,000 right down here. And, the majority of me having this YouTube channel, I guess about half the time period of having this YouTube channel, we were in a complete bear market in here. So really half the time I've spent making YouTube videos has been during really difficult times. And really the only really truly exciting time that we've had in this market from a bullish perspective was during this time period right in here, really lasting from about November until March of 2021. So there's really only been like this 5-month period of where things were just fun and exciting and really easy. And really they weren't that easy, because at that time, right when Bitcoin broke out and the altcoin market broke out, the SEC sued XRP. So there was that whole nightmare going on at the exact same time while the market was taking off. Otherwise, it's been a really tough time, creating YouTube videos, and nothing about it is easy. It's been a lot of hard work. I'm very grateful for this, and what an incredible community that has been built in just with my channel. I mean, it's just been an absolutely phenomenal experience for me, and I'm grateful for it and humbled by it, and it's just been incredible for my life. It's so rewarding. It's something I enjoy waking up doing every day, even during the depths of despair. Even when it's down here, there are definitely difficult days to come on here and make YouTube videos. There's days where you just want to go bury your head in the sand, but you put on your shoes, you put on your clothes, and you turn the microphone on and you get going. But it's just an amazing time period for it to be 2 years right now. And looking at the price of Bitcoin, seeing it up here at $65,000 right now, because really throughout the first whole year of me having a YouTube channel, I was saying, expecting that we were going to go off and do this 4.236 extension for Bitcoin. And well, we're getting really close to that time period. If I switch us on over to log scale and we take a look at what a full extension would look like for Bitcoin, we can see how much this thing has run up since the bottom of the bear market. And right now, Bitcoin has run up 2,000% since the bottom of the bear market, and looking for maybe 11% more if that's what it's going to do. So this has been a perspective that I've had since the beginning of my YouTube channel, which I can now say more than 2 years ago, 2 years and 1 day ago. And right now, I think what people would want to hear the most, if I wanted to, grow my audience substantially right now, the best thing I could come on here and do is sit here and say, we're going to 300,000, we're going to 180,000, we're going significantly higher. But that's never been what my plan has been. My plan was always to be, when we finally got up in here, it was time for me to start really kind of issuing my concerns and issuing my warnings and how I was truly feeling, just like I've always done on this YouTube channel. When we went down into the depths of despair back in May, June, and July, I kept my conviction that I thought the market would rotate back to the upside. And while I'm excited about what's going to be happening in the altcoin market, I still think there's a lot of coins out there, especially in the top 100, that have not had their big shining day. And I think there's going to be this exciting moment in the market. The focus of this channel is now moving away from what it was when it started 2 years ago. When it it started 2 years ago. Way back over here in November of 2019, the altcoin market was $70 billion. At one point, that altcoin market it went down into the 30s. And we can look at that right there. When we had the C19 sell-off, we went down to 38, $39 billion. And right now we can see that the altcoin market is all the way up here to 1,597 billion. So from 38 billion to 1,597 billion. And just the direction that this channel started in, being excited that we're in a bear market and a bull market was coming and it was going to be a great time and great excitement. It's now shifting, right? And I think we all know that that's been shifting over the last several weeks. That, as we're getting out here, as we're getting really high, the direction of the channel is moving into, I'm over here preparing for profit taking. I'm over here preparing to be exiting this market at this point. It's no longer about, hey, what kind of fractals can I come up with on here to be like, we're still going to ride up higher for this whole market and that Bitcoin's going to go to $300,000. It's that Bitcoin's, really close to that full 4.236 extension. And, for a lot of people, this may not be the type of channel that they want. They don't want that. They're looking for some type of hope and some type of optimism of significantly higher prices. But there's a lot of people that have come on this journey and been around here for all these years and been here before these prices took off. That it's important to me that I come on here and be like, look, this is it. This is where I'm starting to let go of stuff. It was $38 billion. It's now 1.6 trillion. It's gone up a lot. Most things in this market to me are completely uninvestable. For me, I have a time preference. I can sit around and wait. I can buy into something when it's completely boring, like Shiba Inu, grabbing it when it's boring and then selling it when it's really exciting. Total altcoin market cap, spending years accumulating these altcoins in completely boring, depressing prices where people think the market's never going to take off. The market takes off and then selling into that strength. That's the strategy that I go with, and that's the strategy that I'm sharing. And that may not be for everybody anymore at this point. But that's the direction that the channel is going to be going here into these final phases, is that I'm now moving into the profit taking mode. I'm moving into the removing money from this market mode. Ethereum is almost $5,000. Last year, at one point, it was below 100. It was below $100. So there's going to be a lot of people out there who need to get, some type of trade call so that they can get, 100% more. Is Ethereum going to go to $15,000? Is it going to rise by 200% from where it's at right now? And that may be really important to them. But to me, that's just not that important. Right? We see that Ethereum's already risen 5,000% during this bull run, chasing another 100%. Not important to me. For me, it's about it's getting to the point where it's time for me to start de-risking out of this market. And I'm going to share that with you. And that might not be something that you want anymore. You might not like that. But I always said that's what I would be doing with this channel when these prices got up here. And that's the direction that this channel is going to be going. And so I know I've been seeing the comments, I've been seeing the responses to a lot of my tweets and people saying, yeah, blockchain backer, we get it. You keep saying Bitcoin's going to be coming in for a top. I know that because that's what I think. That's what I believe. And that's what I'm going to be sharing on this channel is that, hey, look, I'm looking for tops to be coming in on this market at this point. I'm looking for things to start rotating out of the stuff that everybody's really excited about, everybody's FOMOing into, and some type of crazy action like we see at the end of every bull run where there's this, this FOMO chasing that happens into all different kinds of assets, stuff that hasn't taken off yet. We'll see if that comes true or not. That's what has happened in every alt season. But the stuff that's already way up in here, I'm just not excited about it anymore. It's reached out to the prices. I was excited 2 years ago when I started the channel. I was really excited. Bitcoin's going to go to 72,000. No, it's not, blockchain backer. You're absolutely irresponsible for sharing that and saying that it's good. No one is going to pay $70,000 for a Bitcoin. Yeah, they will, man. Trust me. They'll believe me, man. They're going to buy into whatever narrative is happening at the time. They're going to do it. And well, we're here now, right? And I think a lot of times what just doesn't get shared is that these markets work in cycles, right? And you have big bullish periods that are super exciting, but bull markets are significantly shorter than bear markets. Bear market, and people who are here from 2018 through 2020 will tell you, it is long, it is grueling, it is a marathon, it is depressing, it is hard. And right now, like if Bitcoin crashed, let's say Bitcoin's going to crash to $2,000. I know right now in the comments, a lot of people will say, oh my gosh, I would load up on Bitcoin if it crashed down to $2,000. But the reality is, I can tell you, living through those bear markets, people don't feel that way anymore, especially after the bear market's been going on for as long as it has, and the narratives, right? Like when Bitcoin crashed down to $30,000, how many people were loading up at that time? They weren't, right? Because they were scared, right? You had Elon Musk, you had China FUD, you had Tether FUD, you had worries of complete and utter collapse. And if when prices get that pulled back, like in 2018, when it pulled back from 20,000 to 3,000, there was this genuine concern that was this just a Ponzi scheme the whole time? Right? Did China like own all of this, and were they just dumping it on us the whole time? Those types of narratives come out when those prices are really low. Everybody's panicked, everybody's freaking out. And during those time periods, I'm in there, and the blockchain backer's in there scooping it up, saying, "Yeah, this feels dumb. It doesn't feel smart doing this. I feel really, really dumb doing this. I'm buying, and the world is collapsing around me right now. But it's also here we are during these times of where things are really exciting and fun, and everybody's really optimistic and everything like that. And we're reaching out to these full extensions. This is the time period where I'm gonna start letting go of stuff, and I'm gonna share that with you guys as I go through this experience of finally selling." Being in this market for years, and for a lot of people, they don't want to hear that, and that's okay. I'm very fortunate that my YouTube channel has grown to where it is with over 200,000 subscribers. I cannot believe I've had 20 million views. It's unbelievable, right? Growing to this size was something I never ever imagined happen. I thought maybe I'd get to, I was like, it was like this big deal. I wanted to get that 100,000 plaque. And I've got it. It's hanging on my wall in here. And, 200,000, I just never thought it would even go to that. And, just growing my channel a significant amount is not something that's like really important for me in my life and my happiness. I talk about it all the time, like the law of diminishing returns and happiness, that so long as you have a car and you can get from point A to B, that massively improves the happiness of your life. But if that car is like significantly better, like if you're just driving like a 2004 Toyota Corolla and then you upgrade to a 2021 F-150, yeah, it's nicer, but you didn't increase your happiness like significantly beyond that. You know what I mean? Like you still can get from point A to B. You're a little bit happier. You have a nicer car, probably your air conditioner works a little bit better. But like it's not like when you used to have to ride your bicycle to get to the grocery store. You had to walk to the grocery store. You had your Corolla at least, right? You could get from point A to B, and that massively changed your life. Growing my YouTube channel from here, going and chasing 1 million subscribers or something like that is just not something that's going to massively increase the happiness of my life. And so doing all the things that I would need to do to try to like really pull in an audience and really bring people in and be like, look, Bitcoin's going to 300K, or make a thumbnail where it says it's going to 20 million, right? I just don't want to do that stuff. It's not of interest to me. I'm just going to stay true to it and tell you where I'm at within the market. Ethereum is getting very high. It's getting very close to a full 4.236 extension. Will it go beyond that? Maybe so. Will it maybe come up a little bit short of that? Maybe so. Maybe it's only going to come up to just barely 5,000. Either way, it's right up in there. It's right up in that zone. For me personally, this is a place where I'm letting go of some of my Ethereum, and I've outlined that plan a long time ago, and I'm staying true to that. I am not going to be holding on to a significant amount of Ethereum beyond this. And to most people, to be frank with you, to most people in this space, I probably still have more Ethereum than they do, because I was fortunate enough to be, getting in here, which at the time wasn't easy. It was very difficult. We always said that. People will say we're lucky. We weren't lucky. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible back then. But we're here, right? So that's where I'm at with Ethereum. When it comes to Bitcoin, I'm in the same camp that I'm still going to stick with that I think that the top of Bitcoin's coming in relatively close. I think with the total market cap of all of crypto, we've talked in detail about this 4.236 extension based on the rally prior to capitulation back in 2018. I think we're just getting ready to see some serious action come out of here in the total market cap. And my speculation, right? So just my speculation is that I have this feeling it's going to not be with Bitcoin and with Ethereum that a lot of these price rises are going to happen. A lot of this market cap draw in that's going to happen in this market is going to be really more tied to the things that just haven't played catch up yet. And that's where my mind is at, that a lot of stuff is already ridiculously high. I don't see an opportunity really there anymore. And my focus is really on the stuff that's still super low. I've been fortunate to ride up in a lot of the stuff that's gone way up. I don't share my whole portfolio with all of you guys, but I've been very, vocal throughout the bear market and throughout the rise that XRP was my number one holding and Cardano was my number two. I held more Cardano than I did Bitcoin, but I've rotated out of my Cardano, right? I've rotated out of Ethereum. I rotated out of Bitcoin. I've had a really great opportunity to ride those up. But I think a really exciting moment is going to be happening here in the cryptocurrency market. But my best guess, my best speculation on it is that the percentages are not going to be attributed to Bitcoin and they're not going to be attributed to Ethereum. And I think they're going to be attributed to a lot of other things in this market that still haven't gone yet. And for that belief system, a lot of people don't like that, and that's okay. Because people go after the things that are exciting. They go after Shiba Inu when they're exciting. There's a lot of people out there, I'm certain a lot of people out there buying Ethereum right now listening to me saying, you're crazy, dude. Look at it. It's parabolic. It's awesome. Maybe so. But when I started the YouTube channel, I would always say when we were in the bear market, I would say, I'm not a day trader. I'm an accumulator. I'm certain a lot of people who are subscribed to this channel listening to me say those words right there. I'm not a day trader. I'm an accumulator. It's what I said over and over again throughout the depths of despair throughout the bear market. And then I just didn't care about day trading. And I don't care about day trading because I've watched and I've studied this market so well to see that, like we've been talking about over the last week, that the total altcoin market cap is up 3,000%, right? You can try to day trade around that kind of stuff and outperform that all you want. But the reality is throughout previous bull runs and stuff like that, the winners were always the people who just held on for dear life and figured out a strategy on how to hold on for dear life and catch the big monster waves that come in this market that we've seen. And this bull run has been no different. There are still laggers in this market, still laggards who are behind, but for the most part, we've seen a lot of them do exactly that. Thousands of percent. Ethereum, 5,000%. And the idea was to accumulate during the boring, depressing times when everybody thinks there's zero chance of it ever taking off, and then waiting for that big ride to come and happen. And then after the big ride happens, everybody piles into it. Everybody thinks that they're going to get those same returns all over again. And that's usually around the end of that actual cycle. And so I look at the whole market and I look at how many of them have gone off and done these big parabolic bubble rises. I look at the total market cap of crypto, the altcoin market cap, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of them. You got that big stuff. But there's still lots of these assets that still sit around here in this market. And I have to go based on my own experiences. Do I know for certain that they're all going to take off? Of course not. I don't know for certain that they're going to do it. But I'm going to follow my same strategy that I've always followed, and that this market is a rotating market. The money moves around. It gets bored with one thing, like you saw happen with Doge. I was saying that back then when Doge 70 cents. People are just going to give up on it eventually. It's not going to be exciting anymore, right? And that's what's happened. Nobody cares about Doge anymore. They're all just running away from it and chasing Shiba Inu at the top again, right? But that's what always happens. It happens all the time in this market, is that whatever is exciting today, people will not care about in a month from right now. And so for that, with major assets that I think have potential in this market, such as the XRP price chart, still sitting real low. It hasn't done that really big, massive move. Will it? I don't know. The future will tell us, but I'm going to have to place my bets that I think it's going to, unless it's just going to do something different than it's ever done. And this time is different. For me, I don't follow the this time is different. I follow that this market follows a very similar pattern. And so I look at the coins that are low and I still talk about those, right? Like some of my biggest bags, man. XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Zcash, Dash, EOS, Ethereum Classic was in that list. Ethereum Classic went surging. I still have a ton of Ethereum Classic. The things that interest me in this market are the things that are still very low, because I do not care one bit about trying to catch Ethereum to go up another 100% or not. I've studied the market, and the only things that ever interested in me in this market, in this highly speculative, highly volatile, crazy market, is that if I'm going to take these risks in here, I want big rewards, man. That's how I've always operated. And for me, it's going to be focusing on the things that are still really low and seeing that they too can do what this market has done. So people ask me all the time, you still in Bitcoin Cash? You still in Zcash, Dash, EOS, XRP? Man, you better believe it I am. You better believe it. But all these ones that have gone on these huge run-ups and they're in their all-time highs and they're reaching out to these 4.236 extensions, I just consider them so incredibly dangerous at this point. And there's a lot of different YouTube channels out there, and there's a lot of them that are going to be completely different, right? A lot of them that say, hey, you know what, this thing's going way higher. You know what, maybe their arguments are valid and they're worth listening to. But just, this is a synopsis of my channel, right? The synopsis is that Bitcoin's gone off to a full 4.236 extension, so have a lot of the altcoins reaching out to those super high prices as well. And my thought process is that now that all of those are incredibly high, there's likely to be tops coming in for them. And the thing that I'm looking for, which we've seen happen in previous markets, is a lot of these altcoins that are still lagging behind are going to get their big shining day and go flying off into the sunset. And that's my theory. That's my plan. And so I'm sharing that with you. I'm not going to change that because people want differently. It's just what I'm going to share. If my YouTube channel has to suffer from that, you know what? It's been a great run, man. The YouTube channel's been a great run. It's been a lot of fun. And viewership falls off, and subs don't want to participate in that. And you know what, man? It's okay. It's okay. The last 2 years have been some of the most amazing years. They have been, like, seriously, amazing years of my life. I just can't believe it. I really just can't. This is me. This is my life, right? I'm in my office. I've got my monitors here. Nothing has changed from the desk I sit at. I sit at the same desk. I look at the same monitors. I get on here and I talk. And somehow this world has changed around me. It's been amazing. And I still am excited for this market. I see this incredible thing happening over here on the total market cap that we talked about for so long on this channel since mid 2020, the rally prior to capitulation, reaching out to a 4.236 extension, pinpoint nailing it, falling back very heavily, and we're in the point of breaking out of it. That's so exciting. I'm super thrilled for that. But I've always said, that this would be the final moment, right? This would be the final push up in the market. And so in that final push up, what are the things that I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for where's the best place for me to be, right? I have to be taking profits into that. If I feel that's the final phase, I have to be taking profits into it. Historically, this market has always shown to be a rotating market, and that a lot of stuff tops in the end of bull runs a month before other things top. So I have to take that into consideration. And I say, well, what's way ahead of the pack? What's way behind? And I say, okay, well, if these ones are way ahead and these are way behind, and easy to jump to the conclusion on that. So I'm super excited for what's to come in this market, but I do think we've had a lot of leaders in this market. And for that, I believe that those leaders for me are ones to be taking profit on. And the ones that do have me excited are things like XRP that is still behind, and Bitcoin Cash, which is still behind, and Zcash, and Dash, and yes, even EOS. And so while I can't tell you what the market will do, I can tell you what the market has done historically before, and I can tell you how I'm playing my cards based on the knowledge that I've had and the information that I share with you. I try not to hide anything from you. I try to make sure that I deliver everything and explain it in an easy to understand way, so anybody who doesn't even have any chart experience can really just try to explain it so you can understand it. And I'm delivering it in that way. But as Bitcoin reaches out to this full extension, Bitcoin's not the exciting thing for me anymore. Super exciting the whole ride up. It was a fantastic ride. It was magnificent and wonderful. But we're here. It's not exciting to me anymore. I'm way more focused on the things in this market that are still like in here, which is the ones that I just showed you. Because the big run in the market happens in this big monster wave. That's where most of the profits are made in the market. And that's what I'm looking for. If I'm going to stay in this market and be, playing around in this market anymore, I want to have the opportunity to have that. And so I bet this isn't the type of video you expected on a day where Bitcoin is trying to fight against its all-time high again and set another new all-time high. But I've been trying to lay the groundwork for this for a very long time. And it's not something where it's like, hey, this is the end, goodbye. It's moving to the different phase of the market. And so while everybody's getting really excited about Bitcoin and Ethereum, my attention is saying, nope, I'm moving away from that. I wouldn't touch that stuff with a 10-foot pole. But now, what about the stuff that's behind? Because my job is to always be ahead of the herd, not to be caught up in the middle of them or to be lagging behind the herd, but to be way ahead of them. And right now, I'm trying to be. And I'm looking at the stuff that hasn't taken off yet. And that's where I'm looking for the excitement to come in this market, as all the stuff that is way, way high approaches its end. And so, as this total altcoin market cap has risen over 2,000% since the beginning of my YouTube channel, the work here is still not done. We still have way more work to do. But I thought it would be a really good reflection to look back on what the market was like when I started 2 years ago and where we're at right now. And that might give a lot of people the perspective of why I talk the way I do. That, hey, it seems like the Bitcoin price is really high. And that's because I've been through a lot of this. I've been there during the bear market. I've watched this rise happen. I watched the entire rise happen. I watched the fall to 4,000 happen in the midst of the C19 sell-up. I watched the sentiment, the depression, the people who thought it would never ever go this high, and I remained with the faith that it would, and that as we get here, everybody wants more. And while some may not like the idea of Bitcoin topping or Ethereum topping, for me, it's all good, man, because that has historically been when some really crazy stuff happens in the altcoin market. And for that, I'm looking forward to it. And if you've watched the channel, you've undoubtedly seen me go through this so many times. But this time period right in here, and right, we've gone through all of this. It's the identical thing that has happened in here. But right here at the top of the 2013 bull run, it was in this time period where the altcoin market went completely nuts. So I'm super excited for all of this. And I know there's people out there that don't like to hear Bitcoin topping, Ethereum topping, and all that. Whatever, man. That has historically been a super exciting time for the market. So I'm looking forward to it. And so, as we just crossed 2 years for the YouTube channel, I thought it would be fun to reflect on where we thought we were going and where we've gotten to. And it's crazy that we're at where we are right now. And I just wanted to reflect on all that. And I look forward to the next 2 years, regardless of what this market does. I look forward to the next 2 years. So, all right, that'll wrap it up for this one, guys. Bitcoin pushing up against the all-time high. Ethereum, a brand new all-time high. Total market cap, brand new all-time high. XRP price chart still fighting its way. But I want to wrap it up. Happy new week. What an exciting start to the week. Just wanted to lay out there my perspective and how this channel has grown. But otherwise, I want to thank you so much for watching my channel. If you're looking for something to do, you could check out my website over here. This is bcbacker.com. This is a course that I put together where I deep dive into the previous Bitcoin bull runs, the different altcoin market cycles, tying them all together to show how the previous cryptocurrency bull runs and cycles have worked in the past. I talk about my personal exit plans in here. I teach you how to set up your own charts and your own indicators within TradingView and CoinTrader Pro. I also talk about mathematics and percentages and why those are so important to me. And I did recently include a market update in here on October 31st that is available to anybody enrolled in the course and anybody who newly enrolls in the course. And you can check out all of this educational content over here on bcbacker.com. You can follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker, and I want to thank you so much for watching my channel. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.